Hey YouTube, welcome to my favorite games of 2010. Now I'll let you guys know now that this is not going to be a traditional top 10 list just because there were a lot of games that came out in 2010 and a lot of them impressed me. So I'm going to go through my favorite games of 2010. Now I don't know if a lot of people forgot about this game or just didn't realize that it came out in 2010, but Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing with Banjo-Kazooie for the Xbox 360 version blew me away. It really was a fun game. You guys know that I'm a big fan of the racing games, and that goes for, you know, arcade games as well. This is a kart racer, very similar to Mario Kart, and that's what I love about it so much. It's just very accessible, very easy to pick up and play. I had so much fun playing through it. All of the missions, played a lot of online. I really enjoyed it a lot. I mean, the items, they weren't as good as maybe Mario Kart, but the level design was really good, and I enjoyed the fact that you could go to different levels throughout different Sega universes. Like there was a level for a Jet Grind Radio and all different types of stuff. So if you guys haven't checked this game out, you definitely should. One of my favorites for 2010. So Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is definitely one of my favorite games of 2010. You know, I haven't even completed this game. I'm currently playing through it right now and I can't get enough of it. I absolutely love it. You know, it's one of my favorite series, one of my favorite gaming series, even though the first one is probably the weakest one out of the three. I think Assassin's Creed 2 definitely stepped up the game and made things a lot more diverse as far as the gameplay goes and the missions. This one is even better. The addition of multiplayer is spectacular. I mean, I never thought that there could be a multiplayer in an Assassin's Creed game. So, you know, that's just great. And I love the history, how it correlates with the story, just everything about this game is awesome. The controls feel tight, the platforming, all of it, guys. It's amazing. If you haven't checked this series out, you definitely should start with one and work your way through, and I'm sure you'll love it. God of War 3 really did impress me, and that's not because this game had a lot of innovative things in it, because it really didn't. You know, it's very similar to the other God of War games that are in the series, and there's nothing wrong with that because I do enjoy the series. But the reason why this game impressed me so much is because of the big, wow, blockbuster, you know, factors. Like the cutscenes were amazing. And I think the game did a really good job of making you feel like you were in these epic set pieces. You were fighting these big, epic bosses. I mean, there was just a lot of epicness going on in God of War 3. So, you know, this definitely was like my summer movie blockbuster, you know what I'm saying? Like, it definitely blew me away with a great presentation and, you know, the conclusion to the story. Enslaved, Odyssey to the West was definitely a sleeper hit for me because I knew absolutely nothing about this game. I did pick it up when it was released, but it wasn't one of my most anticipated games of 2010. But I can tell you guys that this was a really, really good game. I had a lot of fun with it. And it reminded me a lot of one of my favorite games of this generation, and that's Uncharted. That series is amazing. And although Enslaved Odyssey to the West isn't as polished as Uncharted is, it reminds me a lot of it just because of the platforming sequences. I think that the characters were really good in Enslaved, especially the facial animations on the characters were simply amazing. I mean, it was just so realistic. It's crazy. I did enjoy the story. I might be one of the only few that like the story, but I think it was a really good time. Definitely recommend this game to those of you that haven't played it yet. Donkey Kong Country Returns was like a breath of fresh air for me just because it was so much fun to play, and it kind of touched that old school gamer side of me that doesn't really come out too often. Like, I seriously felt like, you know, I was a teenager again playing the original Donkey Kong Country when it was released. You know, it was that good. And hopefully this title, you know, this great platformer can revitalize the platforming genre in general, not just on the Wii, but on all of the consoles, because it seems like, you know, the platforming genre is kind of falling off. But Donkey Kong Country was great. I absolutely enjoyed it. Even though it was hard, it still managed to give you that rewarding feeling and make you want to come back and continue playing, even though you've died in the same spot like 20 times over. I really enjoyed the level design, you know, the artistic elements. Everything about this game was amazing, and I'm so glad Nintendo decided to bring it back. As far as I'm concerned, there aren't many games that are emotionally touching, but I can say that Heavy Rain was definitely one of them in 2010 that just blew me away and touched every emotion that I could possibly think of. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of adventure games, but I do enjoy them. And the fact that every decision that you make in this game determines the outcome of each character, it's crazy to me. Just to think how far video games have gone, that's wild. As far as the emotions go, I can tell you straight up that I was intense throughout the majority of this game. It just touched so many emotions. You know, I really liked the characters. I enjoyed the character development. The voice acting wasn't that great. Didn't like the voice acting too much. But, you know, give and take, really enjoyed it. I haven't tried out the move capabilities yet, but I plan on doing that sometime soon. And I wish they would bring some more like DLC or some different episodes to this title because I really do think it was great. Professor Layton in the Unwound Future definitely is one of my favorites just because I enjoyed the story. The fact that we learned more about Professor Layton was amazing to me because beforehand, in the previous 2 games, you know, Professor Layton was kind of a mysterious man. So I really liked the way or where the story went with Unwound Future. I enjoyed the puzzles, everything about it. You know, it's a Professor Layton game. We all know how it goes. You solve the puzzles, you get through the story. And for me, the story is the best part about these titles. So yeah, I really enjoyed the story of Professor Layton in the Unwound Future. After years and years of waiting, Alan Wake finally came out on the Xbox 360, and I personally think it was well worth the wait. You know, I'm big into the survival horror genre, and while this necessarily isn't a survival horror game, it feels more like an action, suspenseful thriller type of game. You know, I still enjoyed it. I really loved the story, and I wish that they would build like some type of fiction around the story, you know, maybe bring out books or maybe make a TV show or something. I don't know. I really did enjoy it. It has that whole Twin Peak feel to it, which is awesome. I love the gameplay. While it was simplistic, there was a lot of intensity around it, you know, shining the light on the enemies and then shooting. I really did enjoy this game, and if you guys haven't tried it yet, for some reason you're skeptical, please pick it up and play it. The fact that Remedy supported the title well after the release with 2 DLC episodes is great. I hope they bring out more. Definitely recommend this game. This might not come as a surprise, but Mass Effect 2 is definitely one of my favorite games of 2010. Like, I drooled over this game in the beginning of 2010 in January or early February when I played it and beat it. Like, I absolutely loved it. I enjoyed the original Mass Effect. I'm not even big on like sci-fi type of stuff, but I have to be honest, Mass Effect, the original one, kind of felt like a chore. This one was so much better. The story was good, you know, and the gameplay elements on top of everything was like the best, just because BioWare fixed all the problems that the first one had. Like, it was just so much better. As far as the shooting goes, it was so much better. They axed all of those unnecessary sloppy RPG elements. Like, the first Mass Effect felt like an RPG that was a shooter or with shooting elements, and this one definitely felt like a shooter with RPG elements, and that's more of my type of game. So Mass Effect 2 was great. I love all the dialogue stuff, all the dialogue trees, all the decisions you can make, your party members, characters, everything about it. I absolutely loved it. I can't wait for Mass Effect 3. There were a lot of racing games that came out in 2010, but Need for Speed Hot Pursuit definitely takes the cake for me. Love this game so much. I have it on the PS3 and the 360, which is bananas. But you know, I really do enjoy this game. I did a review over at tvandless.net, and you should definitely head over to the site and check that review out. But I absolutely enjoy the game. It's very similar to my favorite racing series, and that's Burnout, just because Criterion, you know, did the game. And I'm really, you know, I'm looking forward to more Need for Speed games, just because this one impressed me so much. Kirby's Epic Yarn is just simply amazing. I absolutely love this game. It's very simplistic, you know, you can't die. It's just very simple, but that's what I love about it. Like, this is just one of the games that you come home to after you've had a long day at work or at school or whatever, and you just sit down and play and forget about everything else. Like, I think the graphics were amazing. The fact that they incorporated yarn into the graphics was just wild. I know it's not traditional Kirby. You know, he's not swallowing things and spitting them out and doing all that type of stuff. But, you know, it really is a very good game, and it definitely shouldn't be overlooked. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors is a sleeper hit for me because I didn't really know too much about this game prior to its release. But when I got my hands on it, I just couldn't get enough of it. Really enjoyed the story. It's very similar to Hotel Dusk as far as gameplay goes. You know, it's an adventure slash graphic novel type of game. I can understand why this game isn't for everyone. I can understand why some people wouldn't like this game because there's a lot of reading involved. You're going to do a lot of reading in this game. But I really enjoyed the story. I like the puzzles. I didn't mind reading. I like the characters, everything about it, you know, and there's multiple endings. I did complete it once, and I'm going through my second playthrough now because I want to get a different ending so I can know what's really going on in the crazy mixed up story. So this is definitely a game. If you want something a little different to play on your DS, this is definitely one you should check out. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this game as their favorite of 2010, but I can tell you that Bioshock 2, I loved it. And, you know, it kind of makes me sad that no one's really talking about it. I guess I can understand because, you know, this game wasn't necessarily as revolutionary as the original Bioshock was. I totally get that. But this game still was great. They did switch things up a little bit with the gameplay, the fact that you had to protect the little sisters. I didn't necessarily love that part of the game, but I did enjoy it. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't bad. But you having to protect the little sisters, it added like a strategic element to the gameplay, which was pretty cool. It still had that creepy atmosphere, a really good story, and you know, you got to play as a big daddy, which is actually pretty cool. So I'm really looking forward to Bioshock Infinite. Hopefully more people will give this title a chance and the series a chance, but I can say personally, I really did dig Bioshock 2. Super Mario Galaxy 2. I loved it, and I'm glad I can say I love it now because when it was announced, I wasn't quite sure how I felt about it. I was a little skeptical. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed Galaxy, the original one. I enjoyed it, but I kind of wanted something different. You know, I didn't want this game to be like a rehashed, recycled version of the original game. And thankfully it wasn't. Nintendo made this feel fresh and new and absolutely great. Like it has that whole like, I want to say like magical feeling to it. It's just crazy. You can't play this game without smiling. Like I just love it. It takes you back to how awesome Mario games were and still are actually. But yeah, I absolutely love the soundtrack. It was great. I want to like somehow get it and put it on my iPod. Just fell in love with the music. But the gameplay was awesome. I didn't think it could get better, but it absolutely did. The suits, everything about it, simply amazing. Definitely a must-have for 2010. Red Dead Redemption just blew me away, guys. I couldn't get enough of this title. And, you know, I'm not even a big fan of Rockstar games. Like, I play Grand Theft Auto games, but I don't spend, like, countless hours playing them. And I don't even really think the stories are good in the Grand Theft Auto games. That's just me. But Red Dead Redemption offered something that I just couldn't get enough of, and I thought the story was great. I loved the characters. There were memorable missions. Just everything about it was really good. But don't get me wrong, this game is not without its flaws. Like, this game is glitchy as all get out. There's so many glitches in this game, crazy glitches. But if you can get past all of that, you'll find a really good game. And I couldn't get enough of it. Like, the things that you could do on the side, like hunting and all that other type of stuff, it's really great. It has one of the best endings of this year. I couldn't get over the ending of this game. Just loved it a lot, and I'm really glad that I got the chance to experience this title. Alright, so I've come to the last game on this crazy long list of my favorite games of 2010. Dragon Quest IX, Sentinels of the Starry Skies. Wow, guys, I spent majority of my summer playing this game. This was like all I did in the summer besides working. It was just crazy. I even went to the Best Buy event where they gave out the additional content and, you know, downloaded maps and, you know, little freebies. I love this game. As others have said, you know, I really wish that there was some other type of co-op mode, maybe like online co-op mode instead of a local mode, because I used to have my DS my DS in tag mode with this game, and I never came across anyone that had the game, which kind of stinks. But maybe they'll fix that for the next Dragon Quest game. I don't know. But this was like my first experience with Dragon Quest, and I can consider myself hooked. I love the series now. I'm really looking forward to the new game that's coming out next month. I just couldn't get enough of this game. Ugh. Great. This is just like greatness in a little cartridge. You guys should definitely check it out. If you have never tried a Dragon Quest game like I hadn't previously to playing this is definitely a good one to start with. So there you have it, guys. That's my crazy long list of my favorite games of 2010. Now, I do want to direct you guys over to the site, tvnless.net, so you guys could check out the crazy, massive, collaborative article that all of us put together on our favorite games of last year. So you guys should definitely check that out.